Throughout the story of GTA San Andreas, the game introduces us to countless characters, some of which are more obscure and less known, and others that appear quite frequently. And it's only natural to wonder if there's at least a few cool things to know about them. And that's exactly what I'll share with you in today's video. So welcome to one fact about every character who shows up in GTA San Andreas. I hope you enjoy it, let's jump in. Melvin Harris, also known as Big Smoke, is one of the antagonists of the game, and also one of the series' most famous and loved characters. And did you know that in the beta version of the game, he originally had a very different look? He wore a white basketball jersey with no hat, and you can even spot this version of him in a statue at the Crack Palace during the end of the line mission. Sweet Johnson is one of CJ's brothers, and plays a very important role in the game. And a cool fact is that he's one of the characters who assigns the most missions to CJ, 15 missions in total throughout the game. Lance Wilson, or Ryder, is also one of the antagonists of the game. Besides being an old friend to CJ, he's probably one of the community's favorite personalities. And an interesting detail is that he has about 3 different models in the game files. 2 of them are used in regular gameplay, and one exclusive to that cutscene where he tries to rob the pizza stack. Cesar Villalpando is the leader of the Varios Los Aztecas gang, and also Kendall's boyfriend. And like Big Smoke, he also would have had a very different look in the beta version of the game, wearing black pants and a matching bandana. Catalina is the main antagonist of GTA 3, but also appears in GTA San Andreas. Interesting fact is that she's the final villain to die in the entire 3D universe of the GTA series, since GTA 3 takes place after all of the other games in that universe. The character The Truth is a very particular one. His name alone reflects how mysterious he is and why he's so deeply committed to conspiracy theories. And I don't think that we know his birth name actually. Well, at least not yet. Now, speaking of mysterious, Mike Torino is a government agent and a member of the local syndicate. While his name is spelled Torino with an E in the game files list him as Torino with an I, probably a typo or a leftover from an earlier name. Woozy Moo, aka Woozy, is one of the leaders of the San Fierro Triads, and what always impressed me is that despite being visually impaired, he can shoot, drive, and has serious gaming experience, as shown in an alternate cutscene from the Amphibious Assault mission. Mad Dog is a rapper who has very few missions in the game, but he's one of the rare characters who exist in both 3D universe and HD universe of the GTA series. Jeffrey Cross, or Jeffrey Martin, better known as OG Locke, is also a rapper in the game, and interestingly, in the game's beta version, he wasn't called OG Locke. His name was actually MC Strap according to the game files. Eddie Pulaski, along with Hernandez, is one of Tenpenny's partners in the Crash Unit, and a possible reference to him appears in GTA Vice City, where Ken Rosenberg, when arrested, mentions a Sergeant Pulaski. Could it be the same guy from GTA San Andreas? Maybe this one is a bit of a stretch.
Sergeant Polanski down here, that fat chump owes me a favor.
Jimmy Hernandez, as mentioned earlier, is also a part of the Crash Unit, but here's something curious about him. Every time Tenpenny and Pulaski visit Big Smoke, Hernandez isn't with them, and that could be an early hint that they didn't fully trust him from the start. Kendall Johnson is CJ's younger sister and also a member of the Grove Street families, and the only time that she appears outside of a cutscene is in the mission High Stakes Lowrider, where a beta version of her model is used that's actually very similar to one of the game's pedestrians. The character Zero has a few optional missions in the game, and in one of them, more specifically Supply Lines, he actually reveals his age, being 28 years old.
I am a 28-year-old man whose landlord just helped him down from a hook.
GZB, or just Jeezy, is also a member of the local syndicate, and the pimp outfit that he wears is quite similar to the one Denise gives CJ, except instead of being blue, it's purple. T-Bone Mendez, along with Jeezy and Torino, is also a part of the local syndicate and the leader of the San Fierro Rifa gang, and he's a rival of the Aztecas gang, as shown in a cutscene during the mission Pier 69.
Mendez, I see you, Rifa motherfucker!
The character Goopy is a member of the Triads, often seen alongside Woozy, and Goopy is probably a nickname, since his real name is never revealed in the game. Ken Paul is a British character who works in the music industry and also appears in GTA Vice City. And a fun fact about him is that you can find him in the Vinewood Walk of Fame in GTA 5, which is pretty cool. The character Macker is a musician and a lead singer of the band The Gurning Chimps, and he even had a real-life promotional website, which nowadays is only accessible through the Wayback Machine. Ken Rosenberg is a character who appears in GTA Vice City, and in the mission The Meat Business, you can sometimes hear him accidentally call CJ Tommy during one of his lines.
So exciting, Tommy, it's like old times. Who the fuck is Tom?
Salvatore Leone is a well-known character who appears in 3 GTA games, and interestingly, his eyes are blue in GTA 3, but brown in San Andreas. The character Old Reese owns the barbershop in Idlewood, and his appearance resembles actor Morgan Freeman, whose father, coincidentally, was also a barber. The character Emmett is a member of the Seville Boulevard families, and an interesting fact is that he's one of the characters who has the 2 distinct models in the game files, one wearing a red shirt and the other wearing a white shirt. Denise Robinson is CJ's first girlfriend in the game, and she's also the least picky about where you take her on dates, but she's also one of the most frequent callers to CJ's phone. Mark Wayne, aka Beat Up, is one of the lesser antagonists of the game, and his outfit already hints that he definitely left the Grove Street gang and joined the Ballas gang. Barry Thorne, better known as Big Bear, had a completely different look in the beta version of the game, and there's an extra model found in the game files. Jose is one of the Azteca members who appears in the Cesar Villalpando mission, and like very few minor characters, he has a unique model not used anywhere else. Colonel Forberger appears in the mission Home Invasion, and he can actually be killed during the mission, and that disables the noise sensor, making this mission way much easier. The character Derek is the owner of one of the convenience stores that are targeted in Catalina's missions. And a fun fact is that he's voiced by the same actor who plays Dutch from the Red Dead Redemption series.
What are you doing, son? Just give her the cash.
The character Cloud is a character with very few appearances in this game, but he's actually the protagonist of GTA 3. And an interesting fact is that he's both the first and the last protagonist of the GTA 3D universe, first by release and last in chronological order. Helena Weinstein is another of CJ's potential girlfriends, and to date her, CJ needs to have a lean build and a high sex appeal, and she's one of the girlfriends who demands the most physical attributes from CJ. Katie Zahn is another possible girlfriend to CJ, and unlike Helena, she requires CJ to be muscular, but that's not actually needed if he has over 15% sex appeal. Dwayne is a part of CJ's mechanic crew, and he also appears in GTA Vice City alongside his friend Jethro. Speaking of Jethro, he was supposedly meant to appear in the Riot mission near the end of the game, and this information is according to the game's strategy guide. Han Fa Li is one of the top members of the Triads, and a curious detail is that he never speaks, he only communicates through grunts throughout the game, and he's always with his translator at his side. The character Sushi Mu is Han's assistant, and he's responsible for translating those grunts into real words. The character Snakehead, which I call the Old Ninja, shares the same model as one of the martial arts trainers in the Cobra martial arts in San Fierro. Well, I actually think it might be him. Michelle Keynes is yet another potential girlfriend of CJ, and an interesting fact is that her preferred date locations are bars. Barbara Stenvart is also a girlfriend of CJ, and actually her home is never shown in the game, and CJ always meets her at the police station. Millie Perkins is another love interest of CJ, mostly connected to the mission Key to her heart, and a fun detail is that she appears in the cover of Rogue, a fictional in-game magazine. Frank Tenpenny, or Officer Tenpenny, is the game's main antagonist, brilliantly voiced by Samuel L. Jackson, and you may have noticed that his character model looks quite different from the game's artwork, such as this one in the loading screen, where he appears to be younger, more muscular, and with arm tattoos that aren't present in his in-game final model. And finally, Carl Johnson, our beloved CJ. Well, he's the game's protagonist, and it's hard to pick just one interesting fact about him, but one thing that stands out is that he's among of the most customizable characters in the entire GTA series. He can have varying weight, tattoos, hairstyles, outfits, watches, glasses, chains, fighting styles, and much more. A truly complete character in so many ways. So there you have it, folks, fun facts about every character in GTA San Andreas. Unfortunately, a few were left out of this list because either they appear very briefly in the game or I couldn't find anything that interesting about them to share with you guys. But still, I'll display their names here in the screen. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like below. See you next time, thank you for watching.